Of the 9 Colorado wildfires listed as active, 7 of them were caused by lightning. We still don't know the cause of the Grizzly Creek and Cameron Peak fires. That very short-term data contradicts the long-term data that shows between 2000 and 2017, only 15% of wildfires were caused by lightning. This comes even with a decrease in thunderstorm activity this summer. The specific lightning data is not yet available, but usually with less thunderstorms, there is less lightning. So why so many lightning-caused wildfires? You can start with bad luck and coincidence, but there's also a phenomenon known as dry lightning. When cloud-to-ground lightning occurs with a thunderstorm that is producing low precipitation, that's less than 1/10 of an inch of rain, it is classified as dry lightning. This increases fire danger in 2 ways. Not only is there less rain to potentially extinguish a lightning fire, but when rain evaporates as it falls to the ground, it creates strong wind gusts that can stoke a small lightning-caused fire, causing it to grow and spread quickly. Many thunderstorms this summer have been forming in very dry air. Humidity levels have even dropped into the single digits, and there have been several examples of lightning striking with absolutely no rain making it to the ground. Meteorologist Cory Reppenhagen, 9 News.